To all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one here, general strike. There's one important word. I'm sure all of you know strike. But why is it important? If you look at the possibility of thinking of related words, it's an important word. What is the snippet here? 30 to 40 crore laborers to join protest unions. Unions are there across the country, and a statement given by them, and the statement says 30 to 40 crore laborers. Here, laborers noun, before that used as an adjective. We cannot use it in the plural form. Plural form is not correct. 30 to 40 crores laborers, wrong. 30 to 40 crore laborers to join protests. And there's one important word again here. I always tell students, don't read casually, don't listen casually, don't learn casually. Whenever you try to learn, be a smart learner. And what is the smart learning in this context? When you see the word strike, there's one important preposition you have to know. Usually, people make a mistake. Here we have to use go on strike. What is the important preposition? Go on strike. Anil, don't use a V1, V2 in this session. I don't encourage and I tell students that is not the right approach. Use words like basic form or infinitive, present, past, past participle, present participle. Please don't use those expressions. Our students never use those expressions. And that is one thing. Besides, you have to recollect words like whenever there is a strike, people come out in large numbers and they move. That is known as procession. What is it called? Procession. And they carry something, those are known as placards. And you see something written on placards, those are known as slogans. All these words are like a mini word map based on the word strike, protest, procession, placards, and slogans. All these words you have to recollect as a smart learner. Yes, besides means in addition to. That's all based on this. Now let us go to the second snippet. And what does it say? Bihar horror. Horror means something very bad. Horror movie, something scary that instills fear, chilling fear. And this talks about what? 5 burned to death over witchcraft allegations. There are two expressions. Today the snippets are very important. Burnt to death. Stoned to death. If you throw stones and kill a person, stoned to death. If you send a person into the water body, drowned to death and poisoned to death. Here, a different expression, burned to death. Regarding what? Witchcraft over allegations. Witchcraft allegations. Again, you have to recollect all the words related to religion. If you take religion, we have two dimensions, positive dimension, negative dimension. Positive dimension, you have to recollect words like sacred, holy, all these words. Negative shades of religion, black magic, sorcery, witchcraft. But in this word itself, we have another word. What is that? Witch. Witch means an old lady who has, people believe, who has magical powers. And this talks about someone must have suspected a person or a group of people to have black magic powers or witchcraft. Based on that, they must have burned them alive. And based on that, the snippet 5 burned to death over witchcraft allegations. Allegation, we have got many a time. Accuse someone. You say someone has done something wrong without any evidence. That is known as accusation or allegation. Both the words you have to know. Let us go to the next one. Here it is about language policy. 3 language policy. Simple words. Massive protest against panel in Maharashtra. Again, we have got the word protest. Looks like today 5 snippets, the word has been repeated, used. Bewitching has a different connotation. Usha, very good, I appreciate. Black magic, that's right. Keep responding, keep contributing. You will be happy, I will be happy. And a few students may learn based on your contribution, based on your value addition. Protest, I have already touched. And three, language policy. When you see the word language, as a casual learner, you may just have a look, glance, and move on. But you have to think of words like, imagine I can speak a lot of languages. What is a word for me? Polyglot. Have you heard of this word any time? There are two words you have to know. One is a polyglot, the other one is linguist. What are the two words you have to recollect based on language? A person who can speak many languages. You can use polyglot, you can use linguist. But usage point of view, we prefer the word polyglot. Linguist we use to convey the idea that someone who studies languages, one who studies rocks, geologist, one who studies animals, zoologist, one who studies languages, linguist. But poly means many. Glot means there's a part here called glottis related to speech. Polyglot, one who can speak many languages. All these words you have to recollect as a smart learner. Coming to the next one, credit struggles for women MSMEs despite schemes, limited access and widening credit gap. One word is there you have to focus on. What is that? Despite. Many of our students know. Gloat, speak. Who is this? Rohini Bhavani. Very good, I appreciate that. And what is the word despite? Exam point of view, it is important. Despite of wrong, a common error. The word despite does not take the preposition of. And there's another word with the same function, contrast, in spite of. People write in spite of as two words. That is also a common error. You should write as three separate words, in spite of. That also you have to recollect. Narrow and widening. Based on what? Here, based on widening credit gap. Simple. The gap is increasing, then widening. The gap is being closed, then narrowing the gap. Literally what they mean, same meaning. Let us go to, this deals with sports, and here you can see Novak Djokovic. Djokovic moves into the quarterfinals, a step closer. Right now, if you take tennis, Wimbledon is on, and it comes under one of the top tournaments in the field of tennis, and it is on. It is about Djokovic reaching quarterfinals. Simple words, there's nothing to learn as such. Let us go to the headline. What is from the front page of the Hindu paper? Please excuse me, I have a bad throat. I may sound a little different and I may clear quite often my throat. Please bear with that. Here it talks about Supreme Court will hear. Answer my question, will hear. Which tense is that? It is future tense. Will hear what? A role revision, please. Plea means a request or urge. Please in the plural form. On when, if you ask a question, it means answer on July 10th. Now what happens here? A casual learner, quick glance, there's nothing to learn but for the word plea, a request or urge. Very good. Who is this? Kumar. But a smart learner will recollect all the words related to elections. Candidate, contest, campaign, canvass, thumping majority, landslide victory, rigging, booth capturing. All these words you have to recollect. That is being a smart learner. Otherwise, nothing to learn as such. Let us go to the snippet over here. Russia fires over 100 drones into Ukraine, 10 killed. Fire has got two different meanings. The soldiers have been ordered to open fire. Open fire means what? Start shooting. Open fire. And context, based on the context, you have to think of the appropriate meaning. 173 people on Nipah contract list in Kerala. It goes with this epidemic. Here we have a pic when you see the waters and you see people stranded, waiting for help, floating homestead. When you see a pic like this, you have to think of floods. And also, when you think of the word floods, you have to think of inundation, deluge, floods, submerge, all are related words. And homestead, we have got a new word here for the first time. Have you heard of this any time? Homestead. Please respond. Very good. Ajay Kumar. Fire, blaze, ablaze, inferno. I really appreciate that. And also Vishnu. Thumping majority, rigging, rigging, booth capturing, all these. Homestead means a farmhouse. Imagine rural areas, there's a house and land around that. That is known as a farmhouse. I don't think so. This is not a familiar word for many language learners, students rather. So you have to remember homestead. Simple meaning, what does it mean? Farmhouse. And we have one, Trump issues threat of extra 10% tariffs on BRICS nations. There's one word here, issues what? Tariffs. When you see words like tariffs, taxes, you have to think of words like, one is levy, and other one is, excuse me, it looks a little levy, and what is the other one? Impose. Levy taxes, impose taxes. I'm sure many of you know. Impose taxes, levy taxes. Those words you have to recollect. Web portal, apps to make census data available early. And there's one word here, data. What is the singular of data? Datum. Very good, aspirant. Fair, fair. Both are different. And you have to recollect related combinations as well. It is not fair on your part, means not correct on your part. And what is a fare from Hyderabad to Warangal? It talks about how much it costs. Very good, I appreciate that. Coming to that datum singular, data, very good. Datum singular, data plural. But what happens, data is also used as a collective noun. Based on that, you may come across data is, data are. Both are correct, nothing wrong. Depends on the writer's view. Let us go to the next one and see what is there. Conflict in Myanmar drives 4,000 into Mizoram. What do you understand? There is some conflict in Myanmar, political turmoil, some disturbance. Based on that, large number of people, 4,000 is not a small number, large number of people entered Mizoram, drives 4,000 into Mizoram. And casual learner, nothing to learn, but smart learner, it talks about migration. Smart learner will recollect words like migrate, large number of people migrate, what is the word? Exodus, immigration, emigration, migration, exodus, asylum, political asylum, refugees, prejudice, bias, persecution. All these words one has to recollect. Turbulence, very good, perturbed, Ashok Kumar. Ashok or Anok. Aspirant also, conflict, dispute, turmoil, wonderful. Vishnu, exodus. All these words are important from bank exams point of view, do remember. That's all from the front page of today's the Hindu paper. Let us go to the editorial. Today's editorial, not that difficult from vocab point of view, not too many words, and not that difficult from comprehension point of view, because the context is elections. But here and there we come across lengthy sentences. There you have to read very carefully. And what is a benefit? You're going to spend, say, about 45 minutes or 60 minutes with me. What is a benefit? What is the enrichment? You're going to improve you will come across editorial analysis, vocabulary enrichment, and grammar consolidation. But the most important thing, reading comprehension skill you're going to improve. Exam point of view, this skill is very important, especially when it comes to mains. Questions based on inference, summary, writer's view, tone, theme, title. Quite often they ask questions based on these dimensions. Besides, you are going to work on a mini mock, questions based on error location, fillers, word usage, phrase meaning, phrase replacement, all these things. Let us go to vocab part. What is the first word here? Endanger. Endanger means what? To threaten. Part of speech, verb, it's a regular verb, meaning to put someone or something at risk or in danger. Someone or something danger. Sleeps you have to recollect. Very good, Ajay Kumar. Acronym I have created, sleeps. Science and technology, legal, education, economy, polity, socio-cultural problems. They are important from the exam point of view. Word forms endangers, endangered, endangering. Word combinations endanger lives, endanger democracy, endanger critically, also you can say endangered species. Synonyms threaten, jeopardize, an important word, a risk, imperil. Tell me what is the meaning of peril? Perils of something. Peril means a danger. That's also an important word. Antonyms protect, safeguard, secure. But here there is the word endanger used in this context, elections, democracy. Very good, Vishnu. But when it comes to endanger, usually it goes with wildlife. Wildlife. And what are the words that go with, you have to recollect all the related words. You have to think of words like flora, means plants of a region, fauna, animals of a region. And today many plants and animals are endangered. And we don't do anything, then they become extinct. One of the reasons because of poaching. Tell me what is the meaning of poaching? Poaching means what? Illegally hunting animals, poaching. And sometimes what happens, these people, they gather or they want the skin, claws, shells of animals and they smuggle from this country to another country. And sometimes customs officials, they seize that. For that we have one specific word. What is that? Confiscate. Confiscate. And also those goods are known as a contraband. Contraband. Confiscate means seize, contraband, goods that are being smuggled. All these words you have to recollect, you have to know, you should have at your fingertips. Let us go to the second word, tout. Tout is also an important word they have given many a time. Part of speech, verb. This is also a regular verb, meaning to promote or praise something publicly, often to persuade people of its value. Usually it goes with government schemes and policies. Government launches a particular policy, a particular scheme. They try to publicize a lot. They want people to know about that, accept that. Then we use a word, this particular word, tout. Word forms, touts, verb, touted. As I said, it's a regular verb, touting. Word combinations, tout the benefits, tout as a solution, widely touted. All these combinations are very important. Synonyms promote, advertise, endorse, publicize. Antonyms criticize, condemn, deprecate, an important word. Condemn means criticize publicly, ignore. I would like to reiterate, when I bring synonyms, antonyms, or you come across synonyms, antonyms on your own, do remember some are easy, some are difficult. And you should, as a smart learner, you should focus on difficult words. And after the session, you have to spend some time and make sure you remember, consolidate. This is very important. All the words you don't have to, because simple words, promote, advertise, publicize, everyone knows, criticize, ignore, simple words. And endorse goes more with, you have to recollect the word, celebrity. Who is a celebrity? A popular person, actor, actress, cricket player. The next word, ad hoc. This is a legal term. Ad hoc committee, ad hoc body, ad hoc approach. Part of speech, it could be adjective, it could be adverb, meaning created or done for a specific purpose as necessary. But generally, when we say, no doubt it talks about created for a specific purpose. But usage point of view, ad hoc, usually it conveys something temporary for the time being. Word forms, Latin phrase, generally used as is, means that's what we say, no word forms as such. Ad hoc committee, ad hoc approach, formed on an ad hoc basis. Synonyms, not exactly improvised, but makeshift is appropriate synonym. Temporary, appropriate. Unplanned, appropriate. Antonyms, permanent, systematic, structured. Exactly, Usha. Temporary, unplanned. Who is this? Amulya says, a wreck. Very good, I appreciate. Ubiquity, another important word. Ubiquitous, present everywhere. Part of speech, noun, the fact of appearing everywhere or of being very common. Something is very common, we also use the idiom a dime a dozen. And here, present everywhere, omnipresent or all pervasive, important expressions. Word forms, ubiquitous, ubiquitously. Word combinations, ubiquity of mobile phones. You all know that today mobile phones everywhere. Even beggars have mobile phones. Ubiquitous nature. Technological ubiquity, ubiquitous presence. Synonyms, omnipresence. Usually this word goes with God. God is omnipresent. God is all pervasive. Prevalence, an important word. Pervasive, another important word. Antonyms, rarity, absence, scarcity. What is the meaning of scarcity? Shortage of something, lack of something, not to have enough. And there's one word here, prevalence, but you should also recollect the word prevail. Prevail is a verb form, prevalence noun, and prevail has two different meanings. One meaning, present everywhere, another meaning, to be very firm, prevail upon someone or something, means in a way to be assertive. Let us go to the next word, onus. Onus also they have given many a time. Scanty also you can say, Usha, wonderful. Drought, Anna, that is also good. But drought goes more with rains. Imagine for a particular time no rains, then what do we say? Drought, dry spell, another expression you have to recollect. Onus, part of speech, noun, meaning the responsibility or duty to do something. Word forms used as a noun, no other form. Word combinations, onus is on someone. Bear the onus, take the responsibility. Shift the onus, pass on the buck. You want to shift the responsibility to someone. There is another idiom, pass on the buck. Synonyms, responsibility, obligation, duty, burden, simple words. Antonyms, not exactly. Exemption, freedom, liberty. That's all about today's editorial vocabulary. Not too many words. Because of familiar context, many words we have come across many a time. Let us see how it starts, what the stimulus is. Keep it simple. Someone is telling, keep it simple. But here the writer is telling us or the election commission, whatever it is, what should be kept simple. On special intensive revision of Bihar's electoral rolls. SIR, there is one particular thing, special intensive revision of what Bihar's electoral rolls. Idea is keep those things simple, keep it simple. But what is the main idea? The ECI's conflicting signals. You all know the word conflicting means what? Contradictory. The Election Commission of India's conflicting signals endanger. They threaten or jeopardize Bihar's voter registration process. Right now, election fever in Bihar, and this registration process is going on. Based on Election Commission's conflicting views or conflicting stands, the main idea of the editorial, it may result in something, it may threaten what? Bihar's voter registration process. This process is in danger because of the contradictory stands taken by the Election Commission. How does it start? The Election Commission of India's Special Intensive Revision (SIR) of electoral rolls in Bihar, while touted, an important word, while usually we use in ing form tenses, present continuous or past continuous, any continuous tense we use while, one function. What is the other function of while? It expresses the contrast. Here it talks about contrast. While touted as, publicized as a smooth process, something positive, with significant form submissions, is riddled with, here there's one important word, riddled with, road, dispute, conflict, Ajay Kumar, very good. Puzzled with, full of, that's how you have to look at it. Is riddled with what? Contradictions, and poses a serious threat to voter enfranchisement. In a nutshell, it talks about a particular process, and because though they say, the Election Commission says it's a smooth process, they have publicized that way, editorial says there are some issues, and based on that, some contradictions. Based on that, it is going to be a serious threat to voter enfranchisement. To substantiate this, the writer provides some information. Despite confused, puzzled, baffled, bewildered, all these words you should. Who is this Sai Jiru? Good, I appreciate that. Despite claims of progress with over, despite also expresses a contrast. Something is positive, but at the same time something negative is there, contradictory. Despite claims of progress with over 11% of the estimated electorate submitting forms, in spite of this, conflicting statements from the Election Commission of India highlight deep-seated issues. No doubt progress is there. Despite that progress, conflicting statements from the Election Commission of India, what do they signal? Signal deep-seated or highlight deep-seated issues. Contradictory, contrast, paradoxical. What is ironical or paradoxical? Something positive on one hand and negative on the other hand. What is positive here? There is some growth, some progress, 11% of increase. But what is negative here? Conflicting statements from the Election Commission of India, and these conflicting statements highlight or show something is wrong. What is wrong? Deep-rooted or deep-seated issues are there. And to again justify this, the writer throws some light on what is contradictory here and what is paradoxical. First, I'll tell the two ideas. Initially, Election Commission was lenient. What is the meaning of lenient? Not strict. Later, it took a strict stand. Based on this, the editorial says Election Commission has changed its changed its stand and shifted the stand. That is rather contradictory. Now let us see how it goes. Initially, the CEO of Bihar, through advertisement, suggested a lenient approach. That's what I was talking about. Initially, Election Commission took a lenient approach, means what? Not very strict, towards electors who did not have the stipulated 11 documents. You should understand, initially Election Commission must have said, to register as a prospective voter, you should submit 11 documents, stipulated documents. One important word, tell me what is the meaning of, try to guess, stipulated. You all, especially those who are preparing for competitive exams, you all know the exams are time bound. You should, if you take English, in prelims, you should answer 30 questions in 20 minutes. Now here, what is the stipulated time? 20 minutes. Like that, stipulate means to put a condition. What is the condition here? They should submit 11 documents. And regarding that, Election Commission has taken a lenient approach. Again, to substantiate that, they were told that they could submit enumeration forms to booth level officers. We got the word enumeration the other day. What does it mean? List out, list one after the other, and provide documents later. This is again being lenient. Provide the documents later, or even get verified without mandatory documents. This is also something like being lenient. Without mandatory documents. Mandatory, the word itself means what? Compulsory. Then you cannot say without those also they can go ahead, or even get verified without mandatory documents, with verification through local investigations by electoral registration officers. All this talks about, all this shows leniency towards the electoral process registration. However, the CEC clarified that earlier orders mandating document submission by July 25th. Mandatory means what? Compulsory. Contrasting information. All these things talk about being lenient. This talks about being strict regarding one particular dimension. What is that one? However, the CEC clarified that earlier orders mandating document submission by July 25th, 2025 stand. Here stand means they hold good. A rule holds good. What do you understand from that? Means it is still valid. It is still valid. Stand with a claims and objections period. This is something very important. A typical candidate may focus on claims and objections, plural forms. Then wonders, he or she may wonder, how come indefinite article then plural nouns? But let me tell you, here this indefinite article goes with period, which is singular, based on that indefinite article A. And in this context, claims, objections, they are not nouns, they are adjectives. What are they? Claims period, objections period, used as adjectives, not as nouns. Under pressure, if you don't read meticulously, there is every possibility to get confused. From August 1st to September 1st, for those who fail to comply, our students know this word, we have got many a time. Tell me, what is the meaning of comply? Comply with means follow, adhere to, stick to rules and regulations. This shift, what is a shift? Initially lenient, later strict. This shift in stance or stand and reliance on local level investigations for verification present inherent problems. Two things present inherent problems. What is the meaning of inherent? Inbuilt. You should also recollect the word. One is inbuilt. The other word you have to recollect, intrinsic. Intrinsic or inbuilt. Inherent. Inherent problems based on two things. One, shift in the stand. Other, dependence on local level investigations for verification. Leaving verification to the discretion of local electoral officers. Discretion of someone means judgment of someone. Leaving verification to the discretion of local electoral officers increases the possibility of misuse and bias. If they leave this power, authority with the local officers, editorial opines, it may result in misuse, abuse of power, and also bias or prejudice. Such an ad hoc approach risks wrongful inclusions or exclusions. This is a temporary approach, and such a temporary approach risks something. What is it? There may be unwanted inclusions or there may be unwanted exclusions, either this way or that way. Then what is the impact of that? Undermining the integrity of the electoral roll. Undermine means what? To weaken. An important word. Weakening the electoral process, registration process. Integrity of that. Instead, now editorial has a suggestion. Whenever we want to advise or suggest someone, we use a helping verb should. Instead, the ECI should adopt a more pragmatic and robust approach. There are two words here, pragmatic, robust. Tell me what is the meaning of pragmatic? Pragmatic means practical. Robust means a strong. Pragmatic and robust approach by accepting more universally available identity documents. Today, the present scenario in our country, we have certain documents which are universally available. What are those documents? Aadhaar, ration cards, job cards, all these are universally available, and editorial says they should depend on these documents. More universally available identity documents such as Aadhaar, ration cards, and MGN REGA job cards. Among these, again, the editorial says they should depend on Aadhaar card. Why? When you read the sentence, you understand. The ubiquity of Aadhaar and its mandatory requirement for numerous government services. We all know that today, wherever you go, they ask for Aadhaar. It is universally available and it is ubiquitous in nature. Makes it an ideal proof of identity. Today, ID proof, which is the best thing, Aadhaar card, obviously. Similarly, ration cards and those job cards are widely held, particularly among agrarian populations, as they are central to India's welfare initiatives. Someone was asking, sir, what is the meaning of agrarian? Agrarian means related to agriculture and rural areas. They all have ration cards and job cards. They can also be used. And why these? Because the central government has a lot of schemes, and when it comes to these schemes, those who are at the receiving end, they should have these. Bihar's historical challenges in birth registration, school enrollment, and broader documentation mean Bihar has its own problems. What are they? Birth registration, school enrollment, and broader documentation mean that a significant number of genuine electors may lack any of the 11 indicated documents. Because of this background, they may not be able to produce all the 11 stipulated documents. Now the onus means what? Responsibility, is on the state and its institutions, including the ECI, to facilitate their participation. It is a possessive pronoun, and an important rule: we cannot use apostrophe with possessive pronouns. That you should recollect. And facilitate, you should recollect two words: facilitate, felicitate. I am sure all of you know. How does the editorial end? The current rigid documentary requirements, rigid means not flexible. The current rigid documentary requirements place an undue burden on voters, especially the marginalized and underprivileged. Already they are burdened, grassroots level people. And this is like additional burden, who already face significant hurdles. What is the meaning of hurdles? Hurdles means bottlenecks, impediments, blocks, bottlenecks, hurdles in engaging with bureaucracy, and risks widespread disenfranchisement. Bureaucracy. As a smart learner, you should recollect one important idiom. Tell me what is it? Bureaucrats means administrators, and that idiom is red tapeism. Have you heard of this? What is the meaning of red tapeism? Obstacles also you can. Very good. Shavanti and Vagdevi, I appreciate. What is red tapeism? Bureaucratic hurdles. That's an important idiom that I've given many a time. SSC as well as bank exams. How does the editorial end? The current Bihar exercise seems to be treating every voter as a potential non-citizen unless proven otherwise. What does it mean? If they don't produce a document, they are not considered citizens. To uphold the principle of universal adult franchise, support something, universal adult franchise. The word franchise has two important meanings. One meaning, in this context, the right to vote. Another meaning, business context. Imagine a particular company has a brand image. It will allow others to use a brand image and do business. Then we use the word franchise. And prevent large scale exclusion. How to avoid these problems, how to deal with these problems? The ECI must is used to express a personal obligation. Urgently reconsider its SAR even as the Supreme Court is due to hear petitions challenging this exercise. Looks like someone has filed a case and we are expecting some sort of hearing. Supreme Court is going to hear. In spite of that, editorial opines Election Commission should reconsider. The ECI must urgently reconsider its SAR as even as the Supreme Court is due to hear petitions challenging this exercise. The ECI should immediately broaden, again, advice or suggestion, immediately broaden the acceptable forms of identification, ensuring that all eligible citizens have the opportunity to exercise their constitutional right to vote. Today it is a constitutional right to vote, and ECI should do something about it and make sure that those who are otherwise eligible, they get a chance to cast the vote. It ends on that particular note. Now let us go to questions based on reading comprehension skill as well as listening skill. Try to answer these questions, 5 questions. First one deals with theme-based question. What is the central theme of the editorial? One student responds with the answer, then I will give the answer. Please read and answer, but always remember to write the question number, otherwise unnecessary confusion. What is the central theme? Manisha is the first one and she has got it right. Answer is C. The need for the ECI to ensure inclusive and accessible voter registration. Inclusive. All the people should be included. Good. Tone-based question. What best describes the tone of the writer in this editorial? When you read the editorial or a passage in the exam, broadly what does it talk about? Positive, negative, neutral, critical, analytical, concerned. These are the key words you have to think of. Here it is not appreciative because the editorial talks about, points out the Election Commission of India. Based on that, you cannot choose an option with positive words. Not correct, not correct. Humorous, not relevant, not relevant. Neutral, again not relevant. So what is the answer? Criticizing, critical, and concern, because it's a constitutional right, the right to vote. And the editorial shows some sort of concern based on that, critical and concern. Good, many of you have got it right. This is a little challenging, though based on explicit information. Explicit means what mentioned in the passage, then easy to answer. All that you have to do, take the keywords in the question, navigate, locate, there you find the answer. But this is a bit challenging. Try to answer. What is the last date mentioned for mandatory document submission as per the CEC? Do mention the question number. Who is this Devi? Please mention the question number. Manisha says a 3B. Very good. She got it right again. July 25th. Many students. 3. What is the answer? B is the answer. Let us go to question number 4. Implicit info based question. Implicit or implied means what? Indirect. What does the editorial imply about the use of local level verification by officers? What will happen if they depend on local level officers? What does the editorial imply, convey indirectly? Question number 4. No. Who is this? Sarah says 4C. It increases the chances of biased and unfair outcomes. Very good. She got it right. C is the answer, not B. Writer's view based question. According to the writer, what should the ECI immediately do? Sense of urgency. Yes, Srinivas Rao also says 4C. So many students. Very good, I appreciate. Try to answer this one. Cancel the voter list. Strictly enforce the 11 document requirement. Include more commonly held identity documents to ease the process. Universally available documents should be considered to ease the process, to make it comfortable for the common man. Answer is C. Now we have questions based on mini mocks. First one goes with error location. Read the sentence, same sentence, 4 parts. Which part has an error? India's outreach to developing nations, always identify the subject. India's outreach, here outreach keyword. To developing nations, phrase, is an important strategy. All this is a clause, clause 1. Now we have another clause that aim to create a more inclusive world order. The second clause is about outreach and it is in singular. Then we cannot say aim. What are you supposed to say? Aim is not correct. That aims. Sentence is in present tense affirmative form. We should add S or ES to the verb. That means C is not correct. Aims to create. Very good. Shravanti, she has written the word also. Another question based on error location. Prime Minister Modi's visit to 5 different countries have been seen as a move to strengthen global South ties. What is the subject here? Prime Minister Modi's visit to 5 different countries, a phrase don't consider. Visit have been seen, not correct. It should be has been seen. We have to use a singular verb. Has been seen. Answer my question, which tense is that? It has been seen as something. Present perfect passive voice. We have seen something. Something has been seen by us. Immediately have to recollect. Present perfect passive voice. We have a question based on fillers. Choose the best word to fill the blank. India's proposal to build alternative economic partnerships is with its global South diplomacy. Based on contextual awareness, you will be able to. Here it talks about something positive, and we got yesterday also contrary negative word, inconsistent negative word, ambiguous negative word. Aligned with its global South diplomacy. Aligned with means what? Matched, to match. Exactly, Amulya, aligned with. Perfect. Let us go to the next one based on fillers. Choose the most appropriate word to fill the blank. India offered to support Ghana in becoming a regional vaccine for West Africa. Sometimes what happens, all the words seem to be right, but based on contextual awareness, better word and usage, word combination. You can say vaccine producer, vaccine trader, vaccine importer, but these words don't go with the context. Based on the context, what is the right word? Vaccine hub. No, contextual awareness is important. Vaccine hub. No. Not producer, not trader, not importer. Vaccine hub. That is the right word. I guess Word usage, an important exam topic. And what is the word here? Ancestry. In which sentence it has been used properly? His ancestry of a foreign diplomat. That doesn't make any sense. The ancestry of the tools. That also doesn't make any sense. Her Indian ancestry is a source of great cultural pride, this seems right. Hold that one. They were ancestry. That doesn't make any sense. What is the answer? C is the answer. Amulya has got it right. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. Today's editorial is rather easy, not too many words, and based on that, I could finish off in 50 minutes. Yesterday, it took more time. But always remember, after the session, we will upload join the Telegram group and access the PDF. And when you go to the PDF, spend time on new words, new rules, important ones, and try to consolidate. That will help in the long run. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.